right?
Does my face look red?
No, you look fine. You look
Okay.
nice.
Okay. I'm sunburned, so I didn't know if it was coming through.
You look fine. Also, hello everybody. There'll be, of course, this is the pre-show. There'll be a couple minutes as everybody loads in. It's the notifications. Probably doesn't get the notification on YouTube because you know how YouTube is.
Pre-show, huh? Let's talk about some drugs.
YouTube. I want you to make content and I want you to reach out to people, but I'm also not gonna send notifications to people that hit the notification bell, because I want you to have to work harder to get those views.
Yeah, I never get notifications from. I'm supposed to get notifications from our own channel. And
I do when we upload a video, but I don't when a stream goes live.
I get one probably once every month or every other month.
That sounds about right. Hey, Artaka, how's it going?
It doesn't matter if it's streaming or if it's a video, but I will just get one occasionally. I'll be at work usually. Oh, hey, Trey posted. Let me check this out. Trey posted a video about whatever. Or like, oh, hey, Trey's streaming. Let's see what he's playing. But otherwise, I have no idea.
Sounds about right. I didn't realize how much of what we were going to talk about today was Japanese stuff. Said that, but yeah, it really is. Make sure the tweet has been sent. We are up and rocking. Artaka's having a blast with KH3. That's awesome. Andrew, are you going to try and play that before the end of the year?
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Man, what on earth, man? I just don't know.
That's fair.
Because there's so much that I'm looking forward to that I just don't know if I have time for Kingdom Hearts. Especially because I have no connection to the franchise.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, just in case, we'll be good and not spoil too much. I've been trying to be good just in case with Shadowbringers and not spoil too much too, because I mean, you guys never know when you might just. Because you guys never know when you might just decide to, jump in and play some Shadowbringers. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm ignoring you.
I can burp out Mike.
I'm ignoring you. Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely the shortest of the mainline games, for sure. Well, the people are rolling in. The tweet's been sent. The chat's been sent. Hello, Nathan. I suppose we might as well get started. So, hello and welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
Hello. I am from the future. And my name is Andrew.
I need to put a line on here for when either you or Pat aren't here. The bottom border of the layout looks weird because your name is in the middle, but your face is on the left. So I need to put just a little arrow that points to Andrew. But yeah, Pat could not make it with us tonight. He's doing okay. He just couldn't be here. Which is a perfect time to tell you. On the 22nd, I believe, which is an upcoming Monday, I won't be able to be here. So,
what? Another sportscast? Nobody watches sportscast.
I have work that night, so it starts at 6, which means there's no way I'm getting back time for the podcast. But can you do? So, Pat did send some of his thoughts. I have them on my old phone here.
It'd be nice if you put it on the docket. Maybe I can see it.
I don't know why none of us ever think about the docket. We always just Discord message
Trey,
it to each other.
Trey, you think of the docket, okay?
That's true. I do. Okay, and then nobody reads it.
Yeah,
I
you do
watched
put
that
some thought.
podcast.
You put it right in front of our eyes.
I think what made it more insulting is that almost at the end of the podcast, Pat was like, "Yeah, Trey was gonna send his thoughts, but I guess he got busy." And I was like, "Anyway, Andrew, how's your week been?"
Judgment, baby.
Yes.
Um, can't talk about it too much because you and Pat are not. Pat's catching up on me due to the
Yes,
fact that I
very
was
much he
gone all
is.
weekend. But man, I just got to reiterate. I've just got to reiterate this week. That game is amazing, and I've hit a point where the main story is so good and intriguing that I have done some side stuff, but in the back of my mind, I'm constantly like, but what about this? I have to find out. I gotta find out. I gotta find out. So I think I may be at the point where I'm going to push through the main story.
Yep.
Because it's just so good. I'll just come back and do.
I was gonna say
Because
in the
I'm not.
Yakuza games, the side quests are still there after you've beaten.
Yeah, I'm not going to be done. I already know I'm not going to be done with the game when I beat the story, so I might as well, while the story is like picking up steam, like picking up
Yeah,
steam, and
absolutely.
picking up its pace, like stuff's just constantly bam, 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 just happening. I think I'm closing in on the end, just based on the fact that everything's kind of getting pieced together.
Yeah.
I have no idea how many chapters are in the game. I refuse to look.
Yeah,
it up,
I
so
don't want to look it up either.
Yeah, I could be way off, but it's building up to a lot of stuff. So I think I'm going to play through that main story, and then I will go back and do some side stuff. And I'll do that side stuff while I'm playing Yakuza 0 on the PC. And of course, I will be done with the story. Hopefully I will be done with the story before Fire Emblem comes out, which will be perfect.
Yeah.
Finish the story of this huge game to start another huge game. So I was really worried that when Fire Emblem came out, I would have both games.
Yeah, and be having to choose between the two.
Yeah. Well, now I can just play some Judgment side stuff and then focus on the actual story of Fire Emblem.
And there's a lot of story apparently, as we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But that for gameplay stuff, it's just been all Judgment except for this weekend when I went on vacation, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I saw this game on the Play Store.
Yeah.
Google Play Store. Teppen. Teppen. It's a Capcom card battling game.
Okay.
That apparently just happened to come out like this past weekend.
All right.
I just happened to see on the store. And I haven't put a lot of time into it. I started to play it more today, but I opened a bunch of packs.
Yeah.
They gave me like 37 free packs. So, and each pack has 6 characters in it.
That's a lot of free packs.
So I opened up 10. It's a deck building game, you know?
Yeah.
I opened up 10 packs, and then I was reading over what the cards did, and I realized I'd only played the tutorial mission.
Right.
And so I had no idea what I was doing. But what's different about it is there's not turns.
Okay.
It's over time. You gain points like over time to summon stuff. You use abilities or summon like characters to like heroes to battle with.
Yeah.
And you only have 3 slots for heroes. And the way it works is, let's say I put somebody on my top slot. Well, over time, it'll fill a bar. And if the bar reaches the other side, it attacks the player.
Okay.
They can play a character on that bar, and then the bars will fill and they'll attack each other. And it's really weird and different. I want to put more time into it just because it is so different. But it is cool because it's like all the Capcom franchises.
Okay.
Like I got some. Who was it? Who? Oh man, who was it? I got a zombie from Resident Evil. And then I got some
All
guys from
right.
Street Fighter. And then there's also like a special ability you can use. I don't know. I don't remember how you power it up, but you can use that. It's like a card. It's like a card fighting game,
Okay.
not a not your typical like Hearthstone
I'll check
Magic.
it out. See how it plays.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but uh, yeah, I'm gonna check it out some more. Hopefully, have some more to say next week. I'll play it at lunch when I'm at work and stuff. Just check it out more. But and then I'm just as an aside, I started playing poker on my online poker
Because of judgment.
because of judgment. I got mad. I got mad at playing blackjack. I was up to like I had like 7,000
Yeah.
chips, and then I got all the way down to 1,600. And so I was like, I'm gonna pick up poker instead.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play poker. Let me see. And Pat had talked about it, so I played poker. So now I just want to play poker all the time.
Chat. You cannot anymore come at me when we're streaming a game and we spend an hour in a casino. You cannot come at me anymore going, Andrew wouldn't do this. We went down that rigmarole before with DQ11. You no longer. He has proven he is no better than I am when it comes to casinos and games. You cannot.
No. I thought I was better than that. But when I hit the golden saucer on Final Fantasy 14, I didn't get into it. I didn't get into it because I was trying to play through the story. But part of me was like, man, there's a lot of games here.
Yep.
A lot of stuff I can do.
Yep.
I can play triple triad.
You ever bet on a chocobo race before?
Wait, hold on. Is that in Final Fantasy 14?
And in Final Fantasy 7.
Well, now I know why people say Final Fantasy 7 is the best one.
Yeah, and you can breed chocobos to send into the race, and then still bet on them, which should be against the rules.
Can I sabotage my opponents?
Yes. So
That
in
reminds me of
14, there's this thing called there's these chests, and there's this thing called caltrops. And what'll happen is this gigantic web of thorns will appear around your chocobo. And if they run up next to another chocobo during that time, then those chocobos get hit by the thorns and are slowed down.
Nice.
It's something.
That reminds me of a side quest in Elder Scrolls Online where I literally cheated. I forget what kind of, it was like rabbits or something that they were racing. So I made a concoction to cheat to help boost one of them.
Yeah.
Make money off of it. Gambling. My father's a gambling addict. Hey, but I'm not putting real money down, okay? I'm putting fake money down. It's fine.
Just wait until you get to the casino in Dragon Quest 11 for Switch.
Oh, when is that coming out again? September?
Coming out this year, yeah. They also I forgot to put it in the news, so we might as well just say it here. They showed there's a bunch more monsters that can be mounted. And one of them is you can mount the golem to ride the golem around, and it just holds you in its hand.
What?
Yep.
Let me see this real quick. September 27th. Okay.
It's a really, really, really good game. Our game of the year last year.
One of the best games of 2018. Didn't it rank on our group list? Didn't it rank? Wasn't it number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's worth playing, everyone.
Yeah, because that roller coaster of story that it has. But it's good.
When I got back from my vacation on Sunday,
yeah,
I decided, you know what? I'm gonna watch this episode of Dr. Stone.
Well, I haven't seen the anime yet.
Oh, okay.
But we both read the manga. You can talk about it. But
it's very close to. So
I watched the OP. I watched the opening theme song because I had to. That's a good opening theme song. Good morning, wow.
See, I don't even remember that playing the theme song before the.
It might not have for this episode, but it's on YouTube.
It started to play a song at the end, and I exited out of it.
Okay.
But
how did they do?
Senku is such a cool guy.
Yeah.
And watching him in action, like in movement in an anime, I'm like, man, Trey's right. This guy's me.
Yep.
He's such an asshole.
Yep.
Oh, it's
man.
so good though. Dr. Stone's so good. I'm
It
still
is.
reading through the manga. I'm kind of taking it slower now because Judgment's taking all my time.
Yeah, I'm a couple chapters behind myself.
Oh, I gotta read Chainsaw Man too.
I also need to read Chainsaw Man. I haven't even started that yet.
It's worth it. It's an easy read.
As we'll talk about in my week, I have not had a lot of time.
Last thing, which is kind of like the big thing, but I probably won't talk about it too much. Courtney and I went on vacation. People know where we're at basically at this point, right? So
they know we're in the state.
Okay.
They also, yeah, I mean, they send me mail. Of course they know where we are.
Yeah. Hey, if anyone wants to send me some Gunpla, hey, I'm down. I'll actually get on Twitter and tweet me building.
That would be a feat, yeah.
Come on. Think about it, guys.
If you want, you can send it to my address and I'll ship it to him. Definitely won't keep it for myself.
Yet. I don't have the F91 at all.
So. Definitely won't keep it for myself.
No. It's my F91. Somebody buy me the F91. So Corey and I went to Houston for a music festival. We stayed in Chinatown.
Yeah. Speaking of Gunpla,
we were almost always the only white people around. We did not realize so Courtney booked the hotel and she didn't realize it was in Chinatown. So we showed up at the hotel, the workers, the police officer that was there, everyone was of some kind of Asian heritage. And I was like,
that's fine.
Okay, that's cool. I'm basically living Judgment now, so that's fine. But so we actually spent a lot of time in Chinatown. I went to a Gunpla shop.
Yeah.
And got some stuff.
Posted some pictures.
I posted pictures in the Gunpla Discord. But it was kind of small, but it was like, I mean, the boxes don't take up much space. So the size of the shop was fairly small, but it was packed full of Gunpla, different kind of Gunpla kits. They had some perfect grades on sale and stuff like that. It was a father-son owned shop. When I first walked in, I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And the dad was sweeping the floor and just looked at me. And I think they maybe thought I was just in there like looking around. But when I piled on 3 boxes, the son was like the father just kind of looked at me like, "Oh, this guy actually."
This guy knows.
This guy actually builds Gunpla. And I got a very, very not. They were very nice. I got a very proper Japanese bow. I was like, okay, that's all right, man, that's cool. They were also building the perfect grade unicorn in the back, and I was like, when I left the store, I told Courtney, I was like, "Did you see that? Did you see that in the background of the perfect grade unicorn?" And she's like, I don't know if it's perfect grade unicorn, but the guy with the big Gundam in the back. I'm like, yeah, that costs like $200.
Yep. That is the main reason why my dream is to eventually retire and open a Gunpla shop. Is because then you can write that stuff off.
They almost had to finish too.
Did they really? Nice.
So I got to see it in its actual size.
Yeah.
For the most part. So that was really cool.
What did you get? Tell the viewers what you got. What'd you bring back for your haul? You got a real grade Exia.
I got the real grade Exia, which I'm really excited about. Everybody knows I love the Exia. Where did my picture go? I got a...
You got the Sengoku Stray.
Yeah.
I don't remember the third one off the top of my head.
The Zhangfei God Gundam. It's an SD kit.
The Zhangfei God. It's the Burning Gundam, but the Zhangfei version from SD Sengoku. Yes.
Looks really cool. So, they've also been why they kind of gave me a look, because I got like, besides the XE, I got like obscure stuff.
Yeah.
It was between the Red Astray and the Virtue, the thick boy
Yeah.
from Double O. Because I've been eyeing for a long time, but Courtney, I was like, "What do you think?" And so she picked the Red Astray. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Sengoku is a good
Um,
build too.
Dude, it looks so cool.
You need to watch
I
Build
think
Divers. Or not Build Divers, I'm sorry. Take that statement out of the air. You need to watch Build Fighters.
so. I started looking up Gundam build fighters after I got back from the Gunpla shop. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I could watch this. I could watch this while I build Gundam. It's just
Good.
perfect. But so yeah, I went there. We spent some time. We went to the Hong Kong Mall and kind of did some shopping there.
Right.
Then we kind of went. I'm trying to think. We went to a bakery. I forget what kind of bakery. I think it was a Thai bakery.
Right.
Got some interesting baked goods. We just kind of spent like, I mean, we once we did like the Gunpla shop and stuff. Like we did some stuff that Courtney wanted to do. We kind of just spent time in Chinatown. We ate at a famous ramen restaurant for dinner.
Okay.
Authentic.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Quite different from the store-bought ramen, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Tiger Den.
Night and day, man.
Yeah. Tiger Den in Houston. Super good. And
Did you slurp?
Yes.
Good.
I kind of told Courtney some of like the etiquette of eating ramen, like slurp it. It's expected.
You're supposed to.
You slurp it up. It's not like spaghetti where you don't want to slurp. It's rude.
Right.
No, you slurp it up because you're enjoying it, and you switch it up. You get some pork, you get some cabbage, you get some ramen, then you slurp up some broth. I mean, you got to mix it up.
Yeah.
And I was surprised she actually really liked it too. And
I understand, Nathan.
we both had a sink or swim moment with chopsticks.
Ah.
Neither of us know how to use chopsticks.
Right.
And I told her beforehand, I was like, we're going to use chopsticks. They're not going to give us a fork.
Right. You're not going to have a choice.
It's the real deal. It's a real deal restaurant. Like, they're not going to give us a fork. They only have chopsticks, I bet. So we got there, broke it apart, and I was like, hey, let's figure this out. And it took me a little bit. I looked up at one point, and Courtney's just going away, just eating, and I'm like, how'd you do that?
It's like magic, right?
She picked it up like that, and I was like, how'd you do that? And so she showed me how to do it, and then the next day we went to a dumpling restaurant for lunch. Had some delicious dumplings. They're better than, I mean, there's a good Asian restaurant in the town that I live in.
Yeah.
And their dumplings are really good, but obviously the ones in Houston were way better.
Yes.
Steamed dumplings with some chili sauce.
Yeah.
But
do you have any meat buns?
Yeah,
Ikuban?
Not there. No. We almost did a hot pot.
Yeah.
Restaurant, but we have to know the cooking times for each kind of food.
Yes.
And when I looked at the menu, it was going to be kind of expensive, and I was like, you know what, we'll do it next time because we've already talked about we want to go hang out in Chinatown again.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that we missed, but the main reason we went down there was for a music festival called the Sad Summer Fest. It's a bunch of emo bands. So nobody knows them besides maybe like a handful. I bet nobody that watches our channel knows any of those bands.
Of our 406 subscribers, at least 405 of them.
No. I am a subscriber, so there is one subscriber that knows. But we went there. It started at 2 p.m. on Saturday and went till 9:30.
Yeah.
Outside in the heat. I think there was like 8 bands playing. It was like, was it 8? Yeah, there was like 8 or 9 bands playing, and the heat index was 105.
Right.
I showed up in jeans. So it was so hot that one girl passed out in the line to get in.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things that it was like it was an awesome experience, even though I'm pretty sure there were some moments that Courtney and I were suffering from like heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
Courtney went to go cool down. She was smart, went to go cool down and met the lead singer of Mayday Parade, which is a band that
Yep.
that we went for. And when she got back, she told me what happened. She said she felt so dumb that she didn't ask for a picture. So I get to tell the story what happened. So she's sitting there. She said she's just kind of laid back like this. She has her hat off.
Oh.
She has her hat off, and she's just kind of looked like she's like dying. And she feels somebody kick her foot, and she said she went to open her eyes to be like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And looks and sees him, and he goes, "Hey, are you all right?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I just got. Oh yeah, it's just really hot." He's like, "Oh okay." He sat down next to her. He's like, "So
nice guy." Had to make sure she was okay.
yeah. He would have tried. He's like, "Are you sure you're fine?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He goes, "Yeah, are you at least enjoying yourself outside of the heat?" She's like, "Oh yeah, it's great." You know, he's like, "Well, who are you here to see?" And Courtney, she goes, you," and like pointed it at her. He's like, "All right, well, we don't go on until 6:30, so if you can make it another hour and a half, which I hope you do, like, you'll be able to see us."
Nice guy for sure.
Oh yeah, super nice guy. And then she said afterwards, she was like, "I didn't ask for a picture or anything." I'm like, I think it's more special that you had a genuine conversation instead of just a
not a fan, right? They were two human beings interacting in that moment.
Yeah,
I agree.
No, she was like, "Nobody's gonna believe me." I'm like, "It doesn't matter if they believe you or not. You know it. You
right.
know it happened.
Yeah.
Screw everybody else. If they don't believe you, then screw them."
Exactly.
But they were a lot of the band members of the different bands were just walking around, like in between sets.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Well, if they stood in one spot, it'd be too hot.
Yeah. Well, they had a room they went to, air conditioned in the building.
I'm sure.
That's only for them. So, but they hang out in the merch booth. One guy for this band, Forever the Sickest Kids, he started climbing the equipment. He probably got like good 20 plus feet up climbing equipment while he was singing. That was cool. And then after Mayday Parade came on, we looked at each other and we were like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
It was like 7:30. It was like 7:30. We were like, the last two bands we're kind of fans of, but not like really big fans. Like, we're not feel like we're gonna miss out. And we were miserable. And on the Lyft drive home, we were like, "Man, that was an experience. We're sunburnt to hell. Like on my wrist, my hand and my arm is sunburnt.
Yeah.
But where my wristband is just fine. So I have like this just pale white spot.
Yeah, of course.
In the middle of my sunburn. My neck's really sunburnt. My face is kind of sunburnt, but I did have a hat on, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly.
I sunburned like, well, it was way worse yesterday, but I sunburned like this.
Yeah, around the glasses.
I don't have full raccoon eyes, but it just is like I'm wearing like a Hannibal Lecter mask.
Yeah.
But the very next day on Sunday when we woke up, it was like a hangover. Like we were like, man, it wasn't. It was like less of a hangover. It was like kind of a hangover, but it was also like a drug addict.
Yeah.
We were like, I want to do it again.
Yeah. I don't want to go back home. I want to go back down there again.
Yeah, I want to do it again. So we've already planned to next year do Dallas and Houston.
Right.
They'll do like this year they did Dallas on Friday and Houston on Saturday.
Right.
So we'll do Dallas and then drive right down to Houston the next day and do it again. And we've started looking into other bands to see and stuff because this was the first concert that I've been to that wasn't like a local band, like a friend's band.
Yeah.
Or like something like a family friend or whoever's band.
Yeah.
Like a local band. This is the first one I've ever been to, and it's the first one that she's been to since she was like 6 or 7. And now it's like a drug. Like we're looking up, like, okay, we can go see them in September. We can go see them in October. We can go see them. Like, yeah.
So. Hey, I don't blame you.
ton of fun, miserable in ways, but definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, Courtney told me, and I noticed some people too. Apparently, I'm a big hit at the emo concerts
Really?
because tons of chicks were checking me out and talking about, and then talking about, oh my god, he's married. Look at his finger and stuff like that.
Why
And
didn't you bring me with you?
I told Courtney, I was like, if we ever get a divorce, I'm just gonna go to all the emo concerts. I'll find somebody.
Nice.
She said when we were standing out for a Lyft drive, waiting for the Lyft to come by, other people had left because I guess they were just there to see my day parade as well.
Yeah.
They left and they pointed. I'm oblivious to everything. I'm on my phone.
Yeah, always.
And the girl goes, "Oh, look at him. Oh, wait, hold on. Is he with somebody?" And Courtney said, I turned at that moment on my phone. I turned and then she goes, "Fuck, never mind."
Hey.
So that's like a big self-esteem thing.
Congrats, man.
But that's it for me. I mean,
well, I
had hanging out in Houston and stuff.
I had a lot of plans for last week. My original plan was to go to RTX for a couple days, get some footage down there. RTX, the Rooster Teeth convention. I may not be a big fan of. That was last week. Yeah. I may not be a big fan of Rooster Teeth's content anymore, but RTX is still like a great convention, right? And my plan was to go there. As you can guess, since you didn't see any tweets or any pictures or any videos or anything, I did not get to do that. But my plan was RTX in the first half of the week, and then maybe just some streaming in the second half. I worked most of last week. We had a big thing at work for 4th of July, and I sang the national anthem for the police chief a couple towns over from my town. He asked me to go sing it for him. So I sang that, and as part of that, got a free full family ticket to bring the entire, like all my siblings, to go see fireworks, which is pretty sick. Didn't have to pay for a bit of that because I sang it.
Nice.
When I told Pat and Andrew that I was going to be singing this, I was excited because, hey, that's a pretty cool gig, right? Getting to sing the national anthem, then you don't get to do that every day. Pat lost it on me about how much of a bad idea it was with my asthma and how hot it was going to be and all the smoke. And I was like, he's just overreacting. Well, Friday I had no voice at all. So I couldn't record any videos. I couldn't go anywhere, could not speak. So I played Shadowbringers all day, which was great. And then Saturday I had a wedding, and I'll have another wedding this next week. But did a lot of working. This is a busy month for me at work, so you're gonna see me in and out more this month. But then it should go back to normal next month. But I did have time to beat Shadowbringers. The main story of Shadowbringers, I beat it. I will not spoil that here. I've already recorded the audio for a video with my full thoughts on the story, as well as some B-roll. I have to get some more B-roll, but I'll record that after the podcast tonight. It's not only probably the best MMO story I've ever seen, because it's not an MMO story in a lot of weird ways. It's not the kind of story you're used to getting from an MMO. It's as if it was its own single-player RPG. And it does really feel that way.
That's how Final Fantasy 14's been doing anyways.
Mm-hmm. But this time you can take NPCs into dungeons with you.
Ooh.
And you get more story from taking them into dungeons with you. So it kind of rolls into, from the start of Shadowbringers to the end of Shadowbringers is just this time where I'm not really interacting with other players at all, other than just that they're in the world doing stuff with me, I took NPCs into every dungeon.
So do you take them besides doing a multiplayer dungeon?
Yes. It's the same dungeon, but you run with them instead.
That's cool. So you could insta queue basically.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And they have dialogue.
Awesome way to solve it. Awesome way to solve it.
It really is, because that was the big problem before, right? Stormblood, like, chugged down because there was too much instance queuing. And people were getting lost in queues. And, like, one of the big problems, because there was no new healer in Stormblood, and there was no new tank in Stormblood, but there were 2 new DPSs in Stormblood, was the DPS queues were insane. Because everybody was playing DPSs. Well, again, there was not any new healers this expansion, so queues were not great, but with the trust system, what did it matter, you know? I grew a better appreciation for every single one of those characters. It's the first time in all of 14 that when you were rolling around with your crew, you weren't the only one doing stuff. Like, normally it's they're looking into stuff while you take care of the big stuff, right? But because they're going into dungeons with you, because they're going into instances with you, because they're with you every step of the way, being a part of conversations, you have far more dialogue options than you've ever had before in 14. It really felt like you were a party of adventurers going through this journey together. And it's awesome. Really good.
That sounds awesome.
It also has... Go ahead.
I want to say, it sounds awesome, but as we've talked about, it sucks that you have to play hundreds of hours, 100 plus hours or whatever.
Yeah, or pay more, right? Like, both of those are bad. That you either have to play over 200 quests just to get into Heavensward, or spend $50. Not 50, it's like 30, but still, that's not great.
No, it's 50.
Yeah, because you have to get the leveling too. Otherwise, you're below level. Yeah. However, do you remember how much we love Arden as a villain? Arden Azunia from 15?
15?
Yeah. What if I told you they took the idea of Arden and they said, hey, what if he could travel alongside you? And you knew he was bad, but you couldn't actually do anything to stop him from traveling with you?
What?
And so the villain of Shadowbringers travels with you throughout Shadowbringers, giving commentary, giving his thoughts on things, going, if you wanted me to be quiet, just try and stop me.
That's awesome.
And it's like, you can't stop him. So it's just, well, he's going to give his thoughts too. And because of that, he has become my favorite villain in all of Final Fantasy. Because throughout the course of the game, you get his story as well. And he was willingly sharing it with you because he wants you to be on his side.
Uh-huh.
And so why would he hide anything from you? It's just, yeah, this is what I'm doing. It's real good.
You make me want to play it. And I have thought about buying the skip.
And at this point, it might be worth it. Because I really think you would love Shadowbringers. You know?
Well, that's the thing. I love, when I'm in a dungeon, when I'm doing group content in Final Fantasy, it's unrivaled. I mean, it just feels great. The mechanics for the boss fights feels great.
Oh. Some of these new fights.
But the story, especially when you're trying to plow through the story like I was.
Yeah.
It's a lot of go here, go there, click on this, do this thing, go here, go
and again,
here,
it gets away from that later on, but you have to get through that first, which is why they really need to just compress that. But I will say the Shadowbringer story, there are a couple things you're expected to already know, but for the most part, it is very separate. It's on a whole other section of the world, you know, of the universe than the rest of the game. It is very much separate from the rest in that regard, even though it still ties in very, very importantly. But it's really good. I got Machinist to 80. I want to play it a little bit more before I put out the first video, like, of how, like, the reviews, basically, of the classes. I want to play it a little bit more at 80. It's a whole new class. There's an ability that Machinist has called Reassemble, and you get it every 60 seconds, and it guarantees direct hit, so defense won't matter, and a crit. And then you have a drill that you get every 28 seconds. And so, Reassemble Drill gave me a 46,000 damage crit. And I was like, well, that's because it was a direct hit, right? You know, that's Black Mage damage. That's amazing damage. And then I crit with a regular move for 33k, and I was like, oh, I can crit like this all the time.
I can just do this.
So then I melded a bunch of crit materia in my machinist. So now I crit a lot. It's really good. I've been playing around with the other classes as well, but go ahead.
They're the first to get the nerf hit.
Yeah, no, I think for sure machinist, like, the crit amount will be dropped for machinist 100%, but machinist is not the first one to get nerfed. Because the first one that's going to get nerfed is Scholar. So do you remember when I talked about a couple of the changes?
Don't touch my Scholar.
And I was like, man, you know, Scholars, a bunch of their DPS abilities have been taken away. So they have like 4 DPS abilities now, and that seems super lame, right?
Yeah.
Well, they brought Scholar's regular healing up to White Mage's healing. So it heals as much as a White Mage now. And they didn't touch the shields.
Oh, yeah, you've talked about this.
As I talked about last week, I got a Scholar shield for half of my health. On top of a full health bar. Like I just had 3/4 more health than I had before. It's pretty good. It's for sure getting the first nerf. But next week is when we get the first raid. I am excited. I am caught up. I've done all the late game stuff so far. What were you gonna say?
Well, there's something special about MMO when it first comes out, and just there's always a class that's broken.
Yeah, always.
And it's awesome for the short time that it's broken.
Yes. And 14's been really good about making sure once it's balanced, it's not below, you know? Like Astrologian was too good in Heavensward, and all they did was bring down the amount of healing it could do to match the other two. They didn't nerf it too hard, you know? But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to continue leveling everything. I'm going to be cranking out videos like crazy for all the jobs once I have them all at 80 and have played around with them in high-end content. But that the story's great. The music.
Well, yeah.
Soken went above and beyond, man. One of the areas has like this tribal chanting in it. And that, it's so good. Each area has its own theme, of course, and then each dungeon has its theme. There is, I won't spoil too much, there is a dungeon that has a smooth jazz theme in 14, and it's amazing. It's so good. But it's really good. Shadowbringers is great, and there's going to be a lot more videos coming out for it. It is, bar none, my favorite expansion in the game so far, and is absolutely my favorite expansion to an MMO. And currently, on my own personal list, it's my favorite thing that's come out this year.
Oh.
It's not Game of the Year for the full spectrum, and can't be because it's just an expansion and not a full release. But it's going to be number 1 on my list unless Three Houses or something else just tears it away.
So you're already saying Three Houses isn't worth it.
Three Houses could be, Death Stranding could be, Astral Chain could be.
So Death Stranding's the big one for me, because right now Judgment is the most amazing thing in the world.
Yep, that's fair.
And Death Stranding's going to come out this year.
Yep.
So is it going to take away my Game of the Year? I mean, it's Kojima. But what is Kojima by himself? He's too exhausted, and it turns out to be just a mess.
We will not know until we find out.
Until November.
Speaking of Judgment, though, I have been playing Judgment a little bit as well. I am...
Where are you at?
Still in Chapter 2. But I've been doing all the side cases. I started the hunt for the Panty Thief.
Yes. Twisted Trio.
Yeah, I've caught the professor. I'm on the trail of the next soon, I hope.
You have caught the Panty Professor.
Yes, I've caught the Panty Professor.
Okay. I can finally talk about it. So, I haven't played this style game before.
Yeah.
So I play a side case early on about catching the Panty Professor.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is hilarious. Then they ramp it up when he's grossed out that he smelled the boys' panties.
Yep.
But when he powers up to fight you,
yep,
he just
yep. So this is not exactly new to the franchise.
Yeah.
There is a really great moment in 4 where Saejima in the Yakuza series learns his new moves, by seeing something spectacular in the world and then memorizing it. And there's a moment where there's a guy hanging out a window that is trying to sneak in to steal the panties of the girl who lives in the window. And she hits his hands, and he kicks off the building, grabs a hold of the clothesline, and spins as he comes down to reduce the speed so he can land. And then you got to beat him up, you know. But
yeah, of course.
The moment that happens, Saejima just goes, "Huh?" And then you see this image of Saejima push back, grab, and spin, and he goes, "I can do that!" And then you can do that move in the fight against the guy. It's such a good franchise, man. But I'm loving Judgment. I really am. Been doing all the side content. I've had to increase my alcohol tolerance for a side deal. And so I'm working on that right now. But it's really good. It's really good. I think I'm close to the end of chapter 2. I think I'm getting close to chapter 3. I've been kind of, again, avoiding the main content until I get done with all the side stuff right now.
I can't even remember what happened that early in the game. What I guess this is spoilers. What story moment are you at right?
I currently have to go back to the Millennium Building. Okay. Because we have figured out that I'm trying to be vague. The guy was not the killer, and we've got him through court, but now there's still who is the killer. That's still up in the air, you know. So
you have so much to learn.
I'm sure. And then the last thing for my week, I actually started this last week and forgot about it. I started reading the manga, and I'm gonna drop it. I'm letting you know right now. That's why I put it on here, is so I can tell you why I'm dropping it. I started a manga called Tsuyokuto New Saga, and it's the idea of, you know, it's become real common in manga lately. The idea of, I was the hero, but we lost to the Demon King. You remember like 2 or 3 months ago when I talked about a good manga that had that story? Yeah. Where the hero loses to the Demon King and then gets sent back in time and has a chance to change things. That's now commonplace. That story type is all over the place now. Because that's how it works in manga. If something's popular, everything else does that. Well, this one was different than all the rest of the dime a dozens get sent back in time to fix things. And it was different because the main character was, you know, kind of smart about it. And I was like, yeah, here we go. This could be really cool. And his best friend, because the best friend character is always like terrible and bad at everything, is actually like really useful. His name's Seiren, and he's like really cool, right? And I was like, yeah, this could be great. The author doesn't know how to write a fight scene to save their life. So there's this moment where Seiren is fighting, and this is what made me drop it. Because there's a bunch of bad fights, but there's this moment where Seiren is fighting a demon, and he's the best friend character. He's supposed to be the stupid idiot, right? The demon's too fast for him, so he needs to be able to deceive the demon and make it think that, you know, he has less reach than he actually does. He's got a longsword, almost a broadsword with a really long hilt on it. And instead of just grabbing his sword lower on the hilt so that the demon doesn't realize that he's grabbing it lower and thus he has more reach, he cuts his arm off and holds his arm with his hand, with the sword somehow still held in his hand, even though it would not have any grip anymore. And swings the sword and hits the demon once. Which you go, that could be kind of cool, right? I mean, that he'd go that far to win a fight against this trash demon that they just ran into. And then the demon just goes, you hit me. Guess I'll tell you why I'm here, and then just leave.
What?
Yep. I was like, what? What are you talking? And then one of the other characters is like, Serod, your arm. And he goes, it's fine. We have regeneration magic. And just starts sticking it back on the stump. And I was like, all right, I'm done. Nope. I'm done. Call it here. Pack it in, boys. So that's a warning to all of you. If you see Tsuyokuto, new Saga, and you go, man, that seems like it might be good, just skip it. Fine. And I had hoped to have a book to talk about today. It has not made it in yet. It was supposed to be in today at 5. It's still not here. But Shadowversity on YouTube has written his first novel, and it's getting really good reviews. Shadowversity is a guy on YouTube that does medieval content, like misconceptions about the way things actually were back in the Dark Ages and afterwards. And really, really funny guy, makes some great content. But he also will criticize works, like books and stuff. Be like, hey, this is good writing, this is some bad writing. And he's written his own book, and I'm excited to try it out. We'll see how it goes. So, with all that said, though, I suppose we'll move into the news for the week.
Well, we're going to start with reviews.
Yeah, Sea of Solitude. Do you remember this game?
No. I know what it is because I looked it up on
Yeah.
the docket. And I remembered I had seen some stuff about it, but...
So, when it got announced, we were pretty... Not, like, super excited, but we were intrigued. We talked about it on the podcast, and it was announced at the Game Awards. We were intrigued. It's not done well in a lot of reviews.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess what the Open Critic is right now?
70.
73.
Okay.
So it's not as bad as it could be. The big complaints are the voice acting.
So I will say that before the podcast, I watched the launch trailer for this. And the voice acting seemed rough there. Also, they used I think it was a Billie Eilish song, like a modern pop song, and it really threw off the vibe of the trailer. It's supposed to be like this serious kind of dark looking story.
Yeah,
completely threw me. Like I was at the point when I was reading about it that I was like, oh, I gotta buy this game.
Yeah, it sounds really great.
Then I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna buy this game anymore.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, Sea of Solitude is a quest of a young girl trying to, or I guess young woman, I suppose. She's not like 6. She's like 12, right? Roughly.
I don't know. I think it's
she's a form of a child of some indiscriminate young age. Dealing with depression and trying to, conquer her inner demons while she sails through this sea of solitude. And it, on paper, again, as Andrew said, it sounds great. But the animations are a bit janky. That voice acting's real rough.
Yeah.
Like, going with an accent is fine. I don't have anything against the accent, but the way that the person voicing it voiced the lines makes it feel like they're just reading off a script. And maybe it's their first role, right? Maybe they've never done it before. Maybe they literally are just reading off a script. But that's where a voice director is supposed to come in and go, okay, did a good job on the line, you got the read right, now let's do emotion. And It's super obvious at one point when a monster, there's this big bird in the trailer that talks to her to try and help her. It's just the same voice, but so you wouldn't realize it, they just have her whisper.
Yeah.
And it's like, man. And maybe the game's great. Again, it's got a 73, right? Maybe it plays well. But it did not instill a lot of confidence in me. I do have a few other reviews here. IGN gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, I think theirs was on the lower end.
Says, Sea of Solitude gives you a beautiful world and intriguing story, but the gameplay fails to evolve enough to make this a compelling adventure. GameSpot gave it a 7, said Sea of Solitude tells a poignant story about loneliness that's only let down by its tedious gameplay. It's unfortunate. Man, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is in like 4 days.
Is it really already coming out?
Yeah, it's July 12th.
So you're not gonna get it. You said it's PS4. So what turned you off from getting it from the Switch, or did you just never think about that?
I forgot it was coming to the Switch. Also,
Okay.
if you own the first game on PS4, you get extra items in the PS4 version.
I thought about getting it on the Switch, but if
Yeah.
you're gonna get it on PS4, if I get it, I'll get it on whatever console you.
Yeah, that way we can build together.
There is a Switch demo though.
Yeah, I thought about
If you
downloading
wanna
that.
See how it plays.
Because I may eventually pick it up on Switch too, just to be able to build there too. But well, from Sea of Solitude, you guys remember Digimon?
Digital Monsters.
People talking about Pokemon lately. Been forgetting about how good Digimon game's been.
Yeah.
Uh,
About that Pokemon.
So, isn't it like one of those artsy walking simulators? You're thinking of a different game. This one is walking, but it's also rowing a boat and climbing and avoiding stuff. And again, walking simulators can be good too. It's just you gotta do it right, you know. Digimon Survive was supposed to come out this year. It is not. It is not coming out next year.
Okay. All right.
Which I mean, hey, again, delay it as long as you need till it's great, right? Apparently it's not going to be set in the digital world or the real world like the other Digimon games have been. It's going to be set in its own alternate reality where Digimon have been in the real world for years, generations.
They're taking the Detective Pikachu, right?
Yes. But remember that the setup for Survive with that amazing trailer song, I really am still waiting on the full version of that song. The setup there is it's like a visual novel style with tactical RPG roleplay elements. Tactical RPG roleplay, just immediately the wrong word came in. Combat elements. Almost like a Final Fantasy Tactics style. And it looks really good. As you're setting like this school that, oh man, I just hear the song in my head. I'm excited for that next year for sure. And again, take as much time as you need till it's done. But if you're jonesing for some Digimon this year, you want to play some Digimon, and you did not play the Cyber Sleuth games, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition is coming October 18th to PC and to Switch.
The Switch, baby.
So that is Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. Both games. You will get all the Digimon that are in them. Both games. And apparently you will still be able to carry items over and things like that. So super stoked for that. Love me some Digimon.
I will buy this because I bought Cyber Sleuth on PS4 on a sale. Never touched it. But I'll buy it for PC.
You should play them. They're very, very good games. And again, for people that have been wanting like a more mature Pokemon game, here you go. There's some dark stuff that goes on in these games, and you can.
Digimon's always been the more mature Pokemon.
Yes, it absolutely has. And because of the way Cyber Sleuth works in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, any Digimon can become any other Digimon given enough time. So, like, say for instance, you start with like an Agumon that's just an example. Start with an Agumon, but you want a Metal Garurumon, right? Evolve him up into a Greymon, evolve him down into a completely slipped my mind. Gabumon, and then move up. So you want him to wind up being a Demi-Devimon, no problem. Evolve him up into a Greymon, evolve him down into a Salamon, evolve him down into a Bokumon, evolve him up into a Demi-Devimon. Like, it's fluid. It's completely, you want a Digimon, and you got this other Digimon, and its stats are great, but you don't like it, no problem. You can make it whatever you want. And then you collect more Digimon by running into them in the wild until the meter fills, and then you can just summon them. And then you just have that Digimon too. You can buy Digimon in Hacker's Memory.
You can buy them.
Yep, you can go to the black market and just go, I want this one too.
I had like a feeling. See, it's bad when it's to the point that when you say you can buy something in a game, I thought you were talking about microtransactions.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. But no, it's all in-game currency. But no, those games are really good. And speaking about how good they are, there's a new one coming next year.
Sweet.
And it's going to be separate from where these two were in the same world, just from two different perspectives at the same time, right? This new one's going to be completely separate from the two. It's going to be in the same world, but it's going to be years later with new characters. And maybe some returning characters that have aged up a little bit. Be cool to see like Arata and Nokia being a little bit older, maybe a little bit cooler.
So, I have to run upstairs. My charger's upstairs. My
phone's
about to die.
I can vamp till you get back. I can talk about Digimon. Nathan, I think you should give Digimon a try. Digimon games are really good. Digimon is it's really great. Oh, this is a great time too to double check that. Okay, we haven't talked about anything yet that Pat has thoughts on. Stuff that Pat has thoughts on is coming up though. Man, Digimon, the games are such a mixed bag when it comes to what they are. Because the first Digimon games were the old school WonderSwan games that were like, I guess they were like an adventure game with old sprite-based work, you know? And then the next time a Digimon game came out, it was a while, was PS1 when Digimon World 1 came out. And that was a raise your Digimon, it's more of an animal and not more of a sentient being, have it fight other Digimon, you know? Digimon World 2 was a dungeon crawler, where you could gather up a team of Digimon and had to go through a dungeon, and you had like fuel in your tank that you drove around in, and you would send out your Digimon to fight. Digimon World 3 was more like Digimon World 1, except you could have more than one Digimon. Digimon World 4, you played as the Digimon, and they could have weapons and stuff. And then from there, it moved from the Digimon World series, like in the numbered sequence, to Digimon Dawn and Digimon, it was Dawn and Twilight, I think. And they were more Pokemon style games of collect your Digimon, move through the world, you know, solve problems, take on missions, do stuff like that. Then from there, you had the Digimon Story series, which had Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, Digimon Story, Hacker's Memory. And you also had Digimon Online, but we don't talk about that ever. Yeah. But I agree with Artaka. All of them were really interesting, even when they were bad. Because there were some that were absolutely bad. Even when they were bad, they were still super interesting. But played Digimon World 4 a little. Digimon World 4 was good. From Digimon, if we don't have anything else to talk about with Digimon. Griffinmon, best Digimon. From Digimon, we get into some Gundam news. Just a little bit here. Gundam Breaker Mobile is coming. So, I'm concerned.
Yes.
Tentatively excited, but very concerned. For a couple reasons. The first one being that the animations look a little bit, oh yeah, Digimon Rumble Blast. I forgot about that. Good callback there.
Yeah, so did I. I saw Smash Clone and I was like, oh, right.
Yep, that game existed. That game was bad. There was also Digimon Survival, which was a GBA game where you had to feed your Digimon, but you couldn't do anything with them. Um,
Digimon Rumble got a second game as well.
did it really?
Yes, Digimon Rumble 2.
Wow, I need to look that up and see if it's any better.
Yeah.
I doubt it is, but I need to look it up and see if they fix the issues. Um, so what I'm concerned about with Gundam Breaker Mobile, right? I think the animations still look very much like they're from New Gundam Breaker, which worries me. The levels look like older Gundam Breaker levels, which is good. And then I'm very concerned about the gacha system, because they have announced it will be gacha.
Of course, yeah.
And you can get parts and you can get pilots. I'm very concerned with how good it's going to be about letting you get them in game, because that's always the balance, right? If you can get enough in game that you only spend money when something big that you want comes up, then that's fine. It's a free to play game, right? But if it does like Fire Emblem Heroes did, where you went from getting 30 orbs a week to getting 3 orbs a week,
Yeah.
then obviously that's a big problem. And Gundam fans are so starved over here for good Gundam games that they'll fork out some more money.
I'm looking for a good gacha game. Okay, so I'm hoping that good. I got back into Dragon Ball Legend, and I'm just looking for another one.
So, if the first week they come out with the Amuro and Char pack for $75, you can get Amuro and Char in both the new Gundam and the Nightingale, and the Sazabi, I mean. Then we know that it's the bad gotcha.
No, that's fine. $35. That's a bargain.
I said 75.
Yeah, 75. That's fine.
I'd
pay a cool hundo for it.
If they come out the first week and it's like, hey, you could buy them both for 25, or you could grind them out in this week, no problem, over the course of playing for 7 days, then it's a good gotcha. There are good gotcha games out there. It's just so rare because of how easy it is to go, don't spend more money, though.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how that goes. But we do have more Gundam news coming up later, but we will move on to other announcements here. EDF 5 is coming to PC July 11th.
Exciting.
It's a good game to come to PC. Hopefully they can patch the old song back in. My only complaint with EDF 5 is that it has a new song that's not the same. Our forces are now dwindling. A call now for retreat is good, but it's not as good as to save our Mother Earth from any alien threat.
Ooh, keep it going.
Yeah, that's the good EDF song. So hopefully they can patch that in. But EDF 5 is a good game. So, and then One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 has been announced.
Woo!
It looks real good. Big Mom is in that trailer, which means we'll get some more post-time skip characters. We got so few of them in 3 because it came out basically right at the start of Dressrosa. So it's great to have more. I don't know how far it's going to go, but I'm going to tell you right now, if we get Katakuri in there, Katakuri boys, I'm hooked right away. If I can play as Katakuri, I don't care. I'm in. How much it costs me? Here's more money. Give me Katakuri. I love Katakuri. Poor Mochi boy.
Hey, who wants to watch us play through EDF 5 on PC?
I mean, I would do it. I would do it. Mods for sure, man. Mods. Getting into the news though, because we don't know anything else about One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, just that's coming out next year sometime.
Yeah.
There is a US version of GBO2 coming.
See, I've heard so many bad things about it. So
I want to read off Pat's thoughts and then we can discuss. Pat says GBO2 coming to the West is huge in his opinion. Shows that all the love we've been giving to Gundam games is paying off. Hope this means that we may see even more Western releases for Gundam games in our near future. And on the one hand, I'm excited that it's coming out, On the one hand, I'm stoked because it means people that did not make a Japanese account will be able to play this game. I just saw chat. On the other hand, GBO2 is a gotcha.
Yeah.
And now American accounts will be able to play the gotcha.
Yay.
I'm also a bit concerned because I play the Japanese version on my American account. If I log into the American version, what's going to happen to all my suits?
Yeah, say goodbye.
I got a lot of suits. So do I just never log into the American version? Is that the answer to this? Never download it, never log into it? Or will it merge? Because if it merges, that's sick. That's awesome. If it's the same executable, perfect. If not, oh boy. And I don't even play it that often anymore, but I don't want to lose all my suits, man. It'd be the worst. I also, it's most likely what's gonna happen. I also worry for myself with the ability to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Because just gonna put this out there: the Gyan Eos is in the game. Wearing my Gyan shirt right now. We all know how much I love the Gyan. If the Gyan Eos was in the American version, and I could have put money down to get that suit, I would have put money down to get that suit. Because I love the Gyan that much. So it was a good thing, because I still don't have the Gyan Eos. It is a good thing that I couldn't. What happens if they add the Gyan a lot? After I could put money down? Because I like the